and welcome to another series of the Women's Rugby Pod. We're coming at you. My name's Johnnie Hammond, and we've replaced the Premiership final winning captain for the England captain. Sarah Hunter is joining us not only on today's episode, but more regularly through the season. So, hello, welcome to the team, Sunter. How are you? Have we summered well?
Hi, thank you, and what a great welcome, and it's great to be on board. Big shoes to fill from Rachel Burford, but I'll give it my best shot. I am very well. Maybe would have been better before kickoff yesterday, but anyways, nonetheless, I had a great summer. Maybe too much for good summer, but yeah, we got a good 5-week break, so I got to go home to Newcastle, see the family, went off to Cornwall for a week. So caught up with friends. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed myself before we hit pre-season pretty hard, which then regretted how much of a good time I'd
had. Tell me you didn't drive from Newcastle to Cornwall.
Well, no, stopped back off in Loughborough for one night before then going back down to Cornwall, which wasn't really the best plan, but it happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, I'm glad you've got some time off. Important to rest those more mature limbs. And what have England been doing over the summer? Since you may as well get us up to date with that as well.
Yeah, so they kindly planned off the back of this 5 weeks off a 4-week intense pre-season camp altogether, which down in Bath, which delightful setting. We were in every Monday to Thursday through July. They put us through our paces, but it was brilliant. Like, I loved it. I've lost count of how many pre-seasons this is, but it was actually really good to have a proper pre-season in terms of just focus on all the core skills, your fitness, strength, everything that when maybe we have summer tours and stuff like that, we don't necessarily get that time to focus in. So it was tough, but we had some fun along the way as well. So it was a good balance.
Good. I'm sure you did. What were the more fun things you did?
I can't think now. What did we do?
It was fun. I've got to say that it was fun.
It was really fun. No, to be fair, we had like daft team challenges and stuff like that, and we had like indoor barbecue, but still that's always good. Yeah, it was quite competitive. Like, we were in teams all the way through.
The same teams.
Yeah, the same team. So from day one, you were in the same team for everything. So like, we did a lot of conditioning games, fitness through that. So like rugby, handball, and you got points, and we had like this compete to win thing, which was a lot of swimming races. So that was all done on points. So it got like super competitive. So but yeah, it was good. It was good.
Nice, because you do play some weird and wonderful. I remember some stealing teddies or stealing that was a few years ago now. But
it's like sneaky weasels.
Sneaky weasel.
Yeah. You know what? We haven't had them in years. Maybe that's something to bring back.
You're welcome.
That is, yeah.
Yeah,
bring back the good old days.
Morale manager. Honestly, I'd be happy to come in once a week, Monday to Thursday, between now and the World Cup. Come in and sneak everyone's weasel. That'd be perfect. Brilliant. I know, obviously, so the rugby's continued over the summer. Did you manage to watch a bit of the Olympics and what have you? A heartbreak for the girls. Have you spoken to any of them, like the Helena Rowlands of this world?
Yeah. So actually, we were in these flats as well when we were in Bath. So we all have our flat and a few extras got Team GB top. So on the last day of our camp was the first day of their tournament. So it was almost like, I don't know, like non-uniform day, mufti day, so you could wear whatever you want. So we all rocked up in these GB tops to support the girls. So our flat got up, I think, most flats got up at like 3:30 to watch their first game in the morning, because we've played rugby with them. A lot of them are our friends and stuff, so we were fully behind them. And heartbreak for them to finish that way. But do you know what? Like the journey they had been on in terms of losing their funding, coming together, not knowing how they were going to get to the Olympics, but to get there and to perform the way that they did was just brilliant. And they didn't win a medal, yes, but actually I think their performance out there was more than a medal's worth for sure. And I think everyone who got behind them is more than proud of what they achieved out there. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, if you want to hear some more insight in that, we did a little mini Olympic series. Got the winning captain on, as you do. A little Jazz Joyce as well. And I can't remember what else. We had Abby Kostaitis from the USA as well. So if you want to listen back to that, then do. So the weekend kicked off. Round one of the Premier 15s. We've had some results over the last few months. It's just going to be Sunter and I on tonight's show, just chewing the fat with all that's been going on in the last couple of months. But we will start at last weekend. 40 games now being streamed by the RFU, 5 at the weekend and 2 every round after that. Still no broadcast partner. Probably won't get you to comment as your employer. Remains to be seen for me that whether they're papering over the cracks or not, the quality of the production is still very poor, and I think it's a real shame and fairly disrespectful to the players that put in the effort. But look, we are getting it out there, and we are doing. Those of us working on it are doing what we can. But a sizable chunk of money needs to be committed by the powers that be at the RFU, so that people can do their jobs properly. But we did have 5 live streams. Let's work backwards. Stoop on Sunday. Marvellous try just before half time.
Yeah, classic Sarah Hunter try from. I'm not sure it was probably even a metre. It's probably like 10 centimeters. It was genuinely a little gap opened up. You know.
I think you're being generous.
Yeah.
You sort of squeezed in between a couple, didn't you, down there on that left-hand side of that rock? And we thought, well, here we go then. My predictions, which were going at 4 from 4 at that point, I thought, here we go. We're going to get 5 from 5. Loughborough are going to take what I thought was a vulnerable Quinn side, because no Jess Breach, no Rachel Burford, no Abby Ward, no Leanne Riley. They were there for the taking.
Yeah, they certainly were, and it was a challenging day for us all round. Obviously, losing Scars early on with her injury was not great to see, but also Alex Baker, who young, inexperienced fly half, I don't think she had 80 minutes of Premiership rugby experience in her locker to bring out, let alone at 10. Obviously, she's played 10 at age group level and kind of been protected at sort of 15. But for her to step up and to run the show and to get us back into the game at half time, and you know, it's pretty hard. We had quite a young, inexperienced team, like forwards and back line, and you know, you come out and you rally the troops at half time and come out and want to do that justice and get back in the game. And we had opportunities really early on, we just didn't execute, and then our errors ultimately let Quins in, and 2 early tries in the second half. And you can just see, like, people haven't got the experience to go, well, actually that's fine, we can still like get back in this, we can still find a way back in, and then we as individually and collectively a team weren't good enough. And when you play the Premiership champions, you can't afford to have a performance like that. And we were pretty honest after the game, like, we want to be a Premiership winning side, we want to be winning those games, and actually to put a performance out like that from the whole team it's not where we want to be, and it's not how we've trained all summer. So yeah, it was pretty disappointing. But the great thing about this season is we've got another opportunity to put those things right and come out again next week, and it's going to be no easier against a Wasp side. We've got a pretty tough run in for the start of the season, but there's one thing I know that all that squad yesterday will want to come to training tomorrow and to start to put things right. So yeah, not the greatest start to the season, but we've got a long way to go yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of teams missing the sort of the Irish and Scottish contingent because they're on international duty waiting for World Cup qualifiers, which we'll tell you about later. So you've been stripped of quite a few players there.
Yeah, you know, we've lost some real key influential figures for us. I mean, we've lost like Captain Rachel Malcolm, who's obviously gone across, Jenny Maxwell, Helen Nelson, Leah Bartlett, like real key people in our side who bring a bit of experience and just older, wiser heads around the younger players that we do have. But you know, we're fully behind them being away with their World Cup prep, and you know, wishing them all the best, but looking forward to having them back alongside us.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was missing their co-captain Elisa Cockburn was DMP. They went down 84-0 to Gloucester Hartbury. I was down at the Al Pas Arena. It was a lovely occasion. Some fans in, sun was shining. And Gloucester, having said, Sean Lynn said to me in the week they've been working on their set piece and forward stuff, but it was actually their backs that really impressed. Kelly Smith looked really, really sharp. Emma Singh at fullback looked very, very nice. Karen Lake won player of the match. Mo Hunt was doing a Mo Hunt thing and whizzing around and being yappy and trying to put every bit of pace she could on the game. But no, their backline were very, very good. Do you watch a bit of that? Were you impressed with Gloucester, or it's hard to make an assessment?
No, you know what? I had a brilliant day on Saturday. Obviously, we day off, like not playing till Sunday, and sat and watched whole of the women's rugby that I don't think we've ever had the opportunity to do so. So it was brilliant from that perspective to have it on the big screen and sit back and watch it. And I think you can only play what's in front of you, can't you? And I think there was some really good like shining lights for Gloucester, and I think obviously Mo's a good friend of mine, and I know she was itching a bit to get back to playing for Gloss and playing 15s again. So I'm not surprised she came with a bundle of energy and had the performance that she did, and it was nice to see that things click for them. And you know, you can only have good backs if you've got a good platform to play off, Johnny. So the forwards must have been doing something right.
You're quite right. Zoe Oldcroft, Gwen Crabb, Hale, Hope in that front row, Kelsey Jones, Connie Powell. I mean, it's a hell of a side.
Yeah, I tell you, they're obviously the names that were around last season. I was really impressed with Gloucester Hartbury's 8 as well. She come from Oxford.
Yeah, that's right. Isaac. Megan Isaac.
That she's, I guess, first year in the Prem. So really good start for her, and you can just see the sort of the teamship that they all have amongst each other. And obviously, it's not called a circus for no reason, is it? So yeah, I think. Do you know what? We'll go on and talk about the other results. I genuinely think the teams over the summer and over the last year have got stronger, and it will be good to see. I know they've got Gloucester have got Bristol next week, so that'll be a good marker to see where both teams are at. Obviously, Bristol on the back of their win and Gloucester on theirs. Local derby, see where things are for them, and I guess Gloucester will have a proper test to see where they are. Like no disrespect to DMP, but it'll be interesting to see how they go next week or this week.
Yeah, indeed. So speaking of Bears, they speaking at Gemma Isaac, they're scoring on her debut. We must just say try scorers and 50 appearances for Emily Scott and Heather Cow for Harlequins as well. So many congratulations to you guys, appearing 50 times in the famous quarters and rounding it off with tries as well. Heather got a hat-trick, didn't she?
Heather got a hat-trick and Scotty got man of the match. So maybe there's something about getting your 50th cap against Loughborough and having good performances.
There you are. A note to everyone else. Back to the Bears, 38-21 over Exeter. Did you expect that result?
Do you know what? I didn't know how it was going to go. Obviously,
yeah,
it was a really tough one to call. I know Bristol last year with the players that they had on paper, and I think they spoke about it themselves in terms of the results they had. They had a lot of injuries. Obviously, they've gained Abby Ward, and what a great addition she is to it. They've got everyone back fit, and from what I've heard, obviously being good friends with Abby, is that how well pre-season's gone for them and actually what they've built there on and off the field. So I wasn't surprised to see the result that they got on Saturday, and they said they felt confident going into the game, and you don't need anything than another local Southwest derby to get you up for a game, do you? So, but it was really, honestly, it was really good to watch. I think that obviously bar our game and probably the DMP game, all the other games have been relatively close, haven't they? And it's probably been a really good spectacle and probably a good opening weekend for the Prem 15. So yeah, it didn't surprise me that Bristol came away with that win.
Yeah, and Dave Ward, Abby's husband, in there doing the coaching. I just thought, new coach, new spirit, all that kind of stuff. I just thought they might have a little extra for Exeter. Indeed, that was the case. Plenty of heart shown by Worcester up at Sale, where another one of your good friends is now steering the ship. Fellow MBE is. Apologies, didn't mention that at the top. I know you'll tell me off later for that. Sale 24, Worcester Warriors 29.
Yeah, really good game actually. I think Katie's doing a great job up there. You can see the ambition they want to play in. It doesn't surprise me that she's got her boots back on, but I don't think she'll be hoping to do it for too long from all accounts. But some of the tries they scored on opening weekend, and I think obviously you've seen in the press about the signings that are still to come for Sale, and I think they'll be really good additions to shore up what they've already got. So I can only see Sale going from strength to strength, but a real competitive game. And Worcester have obviously made some big signings over the summer, and their intent to play in some of their dominance, especially in the scrum, was significant, which obviously allowed them to stamp their authority and probably get the win they did. But it was good to see two teams going toe to toe with each other, and the results now, again, as I said before, being a lot closer. Whereas at the start of the Prem 15s, like those were a lot wider.
Yeah, for me, and again, just my humble opinion. I think Mark Loughman has huge amounts of issues to sort out at DMP, and I think it will take him at least this season, if not longer, to even sort of break touch through the surface of that. But I think everyone else is going to be uber competitive, and I said it this time last year about Worcester, and then they got some very significant injuries. Laura Keats, Lindsay O'Donnell, and Lydia Thompson. Her struggles with injuries, but those guys are back, and as you say, they bolstered the squad really nicely. I'm expecting Worcester to give people proper challenges and be there or thereabouts come the business end.
Oh, absolutely. They've always, over the last few seasons, since obviously Jo came in, Jo Yap, and what she does well is she gets people to play for not just her, but for the team and one another and the culture. And you hear how highly the players speak around playing for Worcester, and they've just grown steadily over time. And they obviously had a lot of young players when the Prem 15 started, but these players have now got game time and experience, and that they're coming through and they're coming into their prime, and they're showing the talent and potential that they once had, and obviously bolstered with you've got your Lydia Thompsons, your Alex Matthews should be back. You've got Laura Keats surrounded by the new signings that they've brought in as well. You know, I completely agree. I don't envy any team that has to go and play them. So we know, especially, it'll be a tough task when we head over to them and they come to us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The head-to-head, I suppose, of the weekend was this Saracens against Wasson and the Cleo sisters going at it.
Yeah, head to head. Can you imagine? I don't know if they've played each other before. They might have done when Poppy was at Sarries and Bryony was at Bristol. But
Bristol, I was going to say.
but yeah, force of nature to be reckoned with, those two. So yeah, interesting. But no, great. Again, really close, very physical, very attritional from both teams. And again, very close spectacle for the neutral to watch and see it ultra competitive right to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. It was ended up was 20, Saracens 26. Just getting the wood over was Sarries. Not sure they've managed to get over them much in the last few seasons, but yeah, great win for Saracens on the road. And yes, Bryony Cleal goes down to her old club. So this weekend, then, Sunter, you have got yourself Wasps.
Yeah, Wasps at home.
Wasps at home, as you have already mentioned. Gloucester play Bristol, and I'm just stalling for time because I am desperately trying to get the fixtures up on my computer. Here we go. Round 2 of the Premier 15s starts at 12 noon. DMP Durham Sharks play Saracens. Gloucester Hartbury, as you said, take on Bristol. That's 2 o'clock. Worcester Women against Harlequins. Gloucester Hartbury Bristol is your live stream game on Premier15s.com. Exeter against Sale. 2 o'clock on the Sunday, and Loughborough against Wasps. I think Exeter's the live stream game on the Sunday for you. Yeah,
I thought it was us, but hey ho, what do I know?
It may well be.
I don't know.
You think it's you? Well, then it must. It is you. It is you. Sorry, I'm talking rubbish. Yeah. It is you. It is you. It is Loughborough.
It might have changed now. Now they saw a result yesterday. They might. Oh
yeah,
no.
Sorry. Yeah.
We best not go there.
Yeah, I didn't want to say, but you know, no. So you know Lynn Catwell very well, Sunter. We played against her many a time. Lovely Lynn.
Yeah, I know Lynn very well. Great player, even better person off the field as well, and she's doing a great job from the looks of it, and no doubt will put South African rugby in a very good place moving forward.
Oh, a lot of that knocking around. 2 little peas in a pod, then you two. But yeah, no, there's been some results going on in South Africa. Great coverage, brilliant coverage of the Women's Premier Division. Take note, others. The Borders upset the DHL Western Province 25-15 to take their first title since 2016. And in the Rugby Africa Cup, Uganda beat Zimbabwe a couple of times. Kenya went down twice to Madagascar. Cameroon won their couple of games as well, which then went into the Rugby Africa competition, where basically South Africa beat Uganda, beat Madagascar, and beat Kenya as well to wrap up that title. Over in Asia, to wrap up that title. So we've had a little look at the results over the summer. What's coming up? It's a World Cup year, Sarah Hunter. You've had a good summer, proper good summer. Too many pints of Rattler, too many pasties. down in God's country, down in Cornwall. But just, I mean, when you were together in that England camp, just where the excitement levels? It's been delayed. I think it's probably the right decision all round. But just where are the girls?
Yeah, I think obviously in a really good place. There's obviously one eye on the World Cup, but we've got a great autumn program for us in terms of like seeing where we're at. Obviously, Six Nations was disjointed because of obviously the pandemic, different format, but we've got almost a big season before we even get to the World Cup. The World Cup, you could say, is still next season, with the fact that being in October now. So big games against New Zealand, Canada, USA to look forward to, and that was kind of very much the focus at the forefront, whilst also one eye on the World Cup. And then we've then got Six Nations next year, so there's a lot of really competitive rugby to get into. So yeah, everyone's sort of like really looking forward to what lies ahead.
I thought France had got the steal on you because they announced their 2 games against the All Blacks, and I know just how conscious Simon Middleton was about playing New Zealand, because you're supposed to go down there this summer, weren't you? I believe
last autumn when
Sorry,
the panic, yeah.
Right.
We meant to go last to Australia and New Zealand. So obviously the fact that they've managed to get us to play New Zealand before the World Cup next year, I think is brilliant, because quite a lot of our squad haven't had the wonderful opportunity to face the Black Ferns yet. So that's going to be a real good test for us, and to see where we're at. Obviously, the world that has been this year, although the last year, has been challenging, and especially when it comes to rugby and performance and playing the fixtures we meant. And obviously we played a lot against France, but we probably now need another challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And you say that, I mean, you've got 347 caps. Does it still... is that still that aura, do you think? Because you say there about the new players coming on and playing, and because I don't know, I've heard it from sort of both sides.
Obviously, they're such a great team, and like, you've got to respect that. And don't know if aura is the right word, but those players have it, like, they're one of the best teams in the world, and they're current world champions. Like, you want to be playing the best, and there's almost like a physicality of playing them that is almost unlike any other team like we play, and the nature of how they've grown up with rugby is unlike any other nation we play. And I don't think it's a way in terms of like being feared in terms of that way, because you respect opposition, and each opposition presents its different challenges. But I think like, for me, if I'm a rugby player, I want to play New Zealand. Like, I guess it's the same in the men's game. Like, they're just formidable rugby nation, aren't they? So to be able to say you've played the Black Ferns, I think is pretty special. And I think, yeah, for players that haven't had the opportunity to do so, I think this autumn's a brilliant chance for them to be put against some of the best players in the world.
Yeah. So let's give you confirmation of some of those fixtures then. England against New Zealand on the 31st of October at Sandy Park. Whoop, whoop. 7th of November, England and New Zealand in that second test, Franklin's Gardens for that one. Then England against Canada on the 14th of November at the Twickenham Stoop, and it rounds off on the 21st of November at Sixways against the US of the A. First meeting since 2009 World Series. That's the New Zealand end of season Northern Tour for them. Just quickly on the grounds, you played up obviously up your way, so Donny at Castle Park. I know the RFU are really, really keen to share it around and share the wealth of Six Nations and one of the best teams in the world around the country and show people. Those are some good grounds and decent sized grounds as well.
Yeah, brilliant. I love the fact that we go around the country. You know, I think where we're at in terms of trying to grow the audience, in terms of from a fan base, I think it's been the sensible thing to do, and to go and see people who might not access it otherwise if it was always in London, I think it's been brilliant. You know, we've had some great games up at Castle Park, at Doncaster, and they're great, but unfortunately they're 5,000 people, and it's great now to say that we're attracting like 10,000 plus to a stadium, and it's unfortunate we can't go back because it was brilliant being there. But you know, we've been down to Sandy Park, and we know where they are with their women's rugby at the minute, and every time we've been there, we've got an amazing crowd that come out, and to take it to new places. So obviously to Northampton, we've never had a game, I think, in the Midlands, so that'll be really interesting to see. And their stadium's like fantastic, and they generally get it's a good rugby town city. I'm not sure which one to do, but
town. There's nothing else to do. To be fair, apart from shoes.
Yeah, but they've got a good rugby pedigree. So I think it'll be really nice to go in and play in a stadium of that quality. And obviously the Stoop is the Stoop, and we love playing there. Maybe not yesterday, but generally
if
for
you're in
England,
white, you're okay. Yeah.
So that when we played Wales last year, was there something like 13,000? So you know, we're getting really good crowds. So, and then Worcester, fast track, we played there for England against France, I think, in a Six Nations, maybe 2011, 12, sometime around then. So it'll be great to go back, and they're obviously doing really great things with women's rugby as well. And I think, it's for me, the stadiums that we're going to show where we are in terms of how far we've come with developing our fan base, and how far we want to go to getting even more fans come and support us.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I'm glad Six Sides has got to just share it around. But the women's program is fully entrenched in the club, as it is at Exeter, and I'm very, very pleased that whether that's a reward or whatever it is, but no, I'm pleased that clubs are not just paying lip service to their women's side, are getting things like that. So no, that's great stuff. It's a huge autumn, isn't it? France are playing South Africa on the 6th of November. The Black Ferns will then take on France. That is on the 13th and 20th of November in Pau and Castres. USA and Canada are taking each other on at Glendale in Colorado, Infinity Park. That's someplace.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been there?
I think we've played there before. Yeah. Altitude.
I think so. Yeah. I was on a Churchill Cup Stag Cup, so I don't know what day of the week it was, let alone whether altitude or not. First, the 5th of November for the USA Canada games, and Canada take on Wales on the 21st of November as well. Over in Asia, they are doing their World Cup qualifiers as well. Final stage for them over there. 3 games in Hong Kong in a round-robin scenario. The winner will enter Pool B at the World Cup with USA and Canada, and the winner of the European qualifier, of course, Ireland, Scotland, going for that one. So the dates for those: 2nd of October, Hong Kong against Japan, Kazakhstan against Japan, on the 7th of October, and then Hong Kong will take on Kazakhstan, on the 12th of October. So to round off episode 1 of series 3, they do say, don't they, with these box sets, Hunter, that after the first 2 series, it just goes downhill.
Yeah, well, you have got me on, so probably explains a lot.
You've said that, not me. But no, this it's 100th episode as well of the WRP. Small little celebration by getting your Highness on.
That's gone quickly, very quickly.
Yeah. No, I didn't have any grey hairs before I started and could sleep through the night and what have you. But no, it's not officially sort of 100 because we did 15 lockdowns, so I'm not counting as official. We'll do something reasonably special for the 100th. So, but just to round off tonight, the Rugby Pod recording on a Monday evening. Just going to let you know about some of the movers and shakers from the Premier 15s. If you haven't heard of those already, we'll just quickly race through the clubs. Leicester, of course, have announced their merge with Lichfield, or I think probably better words is takeover of Lichfield. Very similar to the Quins Aylesford Bulls match will be played at Welford Road. And of course, they're targeting getting into the Premiership 23-24 season. They will play in Championship 1 North, and ex-international, England international, Vicky McQueen has been appointed the head of women's rugby. On to Exeter. Exeter in the off-season, they were busy. Club stalwart Tommy Hayes. Remember Exeter, the men's team getting promoted. You remember Tommy Hayes very well. He's coming as a new coach alongside Susie Appleby. They climbed Chloe Rowley from Harlequins, Kanoto Kobayashi from Japan, Danica Menin, hell of a player she is, from Loughborough Lightning, Bradley Brooke from Worcester, Liv Jones from Loughborough as well, Clara Nielsen, the former Bristol Bears and Red Roses hooker, and Maisie Allen from Gloucester Hartbury.
Not bad set of signings, is it?
No.
No.
Couple of yours in there.
Yeah. They'll be great. Like they've signed really well. There's some really strong.
They have.
I don't know where they're all going to play, mind you. Lots of signed a lot of players. Got a lot of depth now. I actually saw Maisie Allen at under-20s trials and was really impressed by her. Like really impressed by good old classic back row player, works hard, gets over the ball, does a lot of unseen work. But yeah, really impressed by her. So I'm excited to see how she goes in the Prem, actually.
Good. Bristol Bears, we've spoken about Abby Ward coming in. Leanne Riley, both leaving Harlequins. I understand why Abby Ward went. Of course, her husband's now coaching down there, Dave. We should probably mention him as well. Tom Luke is the new assistant coach down there as well. Hannah West from Wasps, which that's a hell of a sign. She's a great player. And Robin Locke, the Wales hooker.
Yeah, again, well, they already had a great team on paper, but those additions are surely set to bolster them. And yeah, like we spoke about earlier in the show, in terms of their sort of sets their ambition out for the season, in terms of, I think Abby and Leanne both going there, two great players, great leaders. And yeah, that you say, Hannah West as well from Wasps. Really exciting to see how they all gel and go together, really.
Yeah, I understand Hannah West was outstanding at the weekend. Kira Bevan or Leanne Riley at scrum half. It's not a bad choice to have, is it?
It's not, is it? Probably play slightly differently. So depending on who you want, the tactics. Also, one on the bench, one coming off the bench. It doesn't make it easy for teams, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. Saracens, Ella Wirras from Loughborough. She returns. Katie Barnes as well from Australia, from the Western Force. Interesting signing. And Carly Waters, USA international as well. Shame to lose Ella Wirras.
Yeah, she was really good for us. It's unfortunate she had that significant knee injury whilst she was with us. But added great value. Again, great person to have around. Shame to be losing her. Obviously, she's finished up university at Nottingham, so heading back down to home and back to playing for Saracens. So, I thought she played really well on Saturday for Saracens against Wasps. So it'd be really good to see how she goes, because she had a fairly disrupted season when she came back from injury, obviously COVID. So probably didn't really get back into the the flow of rugby again. So yeah, it's good to see her getting a good break and a good shot of it again.
Good. And your signings. Take us. So you got a USA International prop, is that right?
Yeah, I got Charlie Jacoby over from USA. So she arrived last week. And already really lovely person, really nice. Obviously impressed with in training. Came on against Harlequins. So yeah, really excited to see where she can go and what she can do. Yeah, so great to have her on board as well.
And a couple of Sarahs, obviously Eloise Hayward and Georgie Lingham.
Yeah, two backs to add to. Obviously we lost Rona, who's gone to Bordeaux. Probably spoiled your thunder there, Johnny, as you're probably going to mention her. And obviously Ella going back. So to have Eloise and Georgie with the experience that they have, obviously winning Premiership titles, it's great to have them on board as well. And then we've got Sadia Kabea from Wasps. Obviously, I thought she had a brilliant season for Wasps last year. Got so much potential. She was in with England over pre-season. So yeah, I think she'll hopefully do really well for us. She's settled in well. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing her run out in the Lightning colours.
Good. The Insects, Bryony Cleo, we've mentioned her already. Lydia Crossman, the former Blackburn, Gemma Rowland, although she was involved, wasn't she, last season? Kay CSC from Saracens and Jess Cooksey from DMP. Jess Cooksey, nice little player, but a big old loss for DMP. Worcester Warriors, Fionn Lewis from the Chiefs, Kat McNally from the Bears, Steph Evans from Bristol as well, Ellen Murphy over from Ireland, Alicia Washington, and she scored on a debut, didn't she?
Yeah,
she's a great character.
Yeah, brilliant character. Do you know what? Every time we play America, on or off the pitch, she's always ever present. Really good person to talk to. I think she'll bring a lot of energy and experience for Worcester. So great signing.
And Minori Yamamoto from Japan.
Yeah, really excited to see how she goes in the English League. Obviously, being over here, having the quality of coaching from Joe, I think, yeah, really exciting to see Japanese players over here in the English League.
Well, we've already spoken about, haven't we? We've spoken about this league attracting Australian and New Zealander, North Americans, Canadians, and Japanese as well. So as well as home unions. So it really is a league that is attracting everybody. Tell you what is attractive to people up in the Northwest is the fact that Katie Daly-McLean, MBE, has moved up to the high performance lead, supported by Callum York, and then just tucked in alongside is Rachel Taylor, who was announced as a new performance coach for Sale. That is some coaching team.
Oh, unbelievable! Like really exciting. Like if you're a player, you think, well, you've got two of the best players that have played this game, and two of probably the best emerging female coaches in the game as well. Like, why wouldn't you want to go and be coached by them? You know, the experience and knowledge, the expertise they can give you. And they're two great people as well, like real great people to want to be a part of. And I can imagine the program that Katie's setting up there, and with bringing someone like Rachel in, I think it's a really astute signing on behalf of the club to bring someone in like that. So yeah, I think that they're setting up a really good program there. And again, from what you hear from Katie and from obviously what is shown, like they're really well supported from the club as a whole. So from Sale Club, which again is like fantastic to hear.
Well, I think the lead is Michelle Orange, isn't it? Whose husband is the sort of the boss. But we all know in relationships who is the real boss. So, yeah, the women's program will get very very well supported. Yeah, huge congratulations to you, Kitty. Yeah, brilliant news, and what a rugby brain. Harlequins, Ellie Kildunn, hence that move from Chloe Rowley to the Chiefs. Jade Conkle's back. Rosie Gallagher, obviously to replace Abby Ward. From Saracens, but a fabulous player is Rosie Gallagher now. She's got over her various bits and pieces, injuries and illnesses. Emma Swords, scrum half, and Saracens come in to obviously replace Leanne Riley. Beth Blacklock from DMP, really good player. Sarah Bonner, the second row as well. And Simon Barnes comes in as forwards coach from Cobham RFC. Some decent signings there. I mean, they've lost some.
Yeah, they've lost some, but they've gained some real quality. Like Gerard's done really well in terms of his. I feel really weird calling him Gerard when I know him as G, but anyway, yeah, that's aside. It's done.
You're the England captain. You're an MB. You call him what you like.
Yeah,
call him G if you want.
Yeah, no, he is
GM.
GM. No, he is. It's G to like, I guess people that know him. Yeah, G man. But yeah, he's made some really astute signings in terms of not just signing for the sake of signing, but signing people that will add to their squad already and add depth, but also like replace the players that they've lost. So yeah, pretty good people coming into the program, I think.
Yeah, people rolling on. One other, just the last bit of news to let you know about Linda Dugang, the Ireland prop, has signed a new deal via the RFU to transfer to Clermont, to SM Rugby, who of course were the French champions at the back end of last season, beat Blagnac. Just squeeze that a little bit of news in for you as well, for next season. So yeah, players going the other way as well over into France. And of course, you've already mentioned Rona Lloyd, who has gone off to ply her trade over in Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Bless you. Bless you, I think.
You.
I don't know what that was, but I'll go with bless you.
I thought I got away with it video these days. Yeah, I think Linda going across to I've been really impressed that she's come on the scene for Ireland, and I think going across to France will probably accelerate her as a player. So really excited to see how she comes back into the Irish squad from going and spending some time in the French league. And again, Rona, what a great, like, you look at the French team and you hear about the French league and, you know, playing out in France. It's been, if I was 10 years younger, I'd love the opportunity to go out and play there. I think obviously the way of life out there as well. I think having spoken to some of the girls who've been over and played in the French league, they speak like really highly of it. So for Rona to go and experience that, I think is it's pretty easy. So she's played in the English league. Why not go and see what the French league has to offer and see how it can develop? She'll be a huge loss for us. Like, she's just one of the nicest people. Like, as a player, absolutely, but like what she brings to the team as well has been huge. And she'll be a massive loss for us. But you know, I've got so much time for Rona, and I genuinely wish her all the best when she gets out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You ever thought about doing it, going off and doing a season or two in another country?
I think, again, like I said, if I was younger, then perhaps, but it's really difficult because I mean, I don't know if there's any like definitive, like, you know, like the men's, you can't, to play for the country, like for England, you've got to be in the country. I don't know. It's never really been that much of a question because we've obviously had one of the best leagues and we still do. But from sort of a lifestyle point of view, or just to go and experience different parts of the world, if I was 10 years younger, now when you look at potentially the New Zealand League or the French League that there is to offer and how it could develop you as a player, then yeah, especially maybe in a down year between World Cups or whatever, then I don't see it being a bad thing. But I think I'm past that now, Johnny.
Well, speaking of Ireland and Linda Dugang, the interprovincials have been going on again, broadcast really nicely. Connacht went down 17-12 to Leinster in round one. Munster beat Ulster over up in Belfast 50 points to 5 at the Kingspan. Leinster beat Ulster in round two and in Giant Park 57-12, and Munster beat Connacht 31-7. 11th September, which is this Saturday. Connacht take on Ulster and Leinster take on Munster in the big one. And one thing that we didn't mention, and we should have because you can't miss her generally, is we didn't talk about Bird.
Oh yeah,
the signing from Gloucester Hartpury over to Worcester of Lisa Bird as one of their coaches. What will she bring to the party?
Oh, do you know what? Again, like, I mean, just when you chat to her as a person, the presence she has and like the knowledge and experience she has is like second to none. She'll be a great addition for Worcester. Like, I think she'll bring a hard edge for them. Obviously, she'll bring the experience and knowledge that she's had of the game, both as a player and as a coach. And yeah, I think it's a great signing again from Worcester to strengthen their coaching team.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just so committed to it. She's middle of a wedding, and some chap was talking to her about women's rugby, and she's middle of this wedding, and she gave me a call, gave me this guy's number, and told me all about this chap who's wanted to invest in women's rugby and all this. I'm just ridiculously committed. She's absolutely fabulous. And the very last bit of news is the Barbarians FC is thrilled to announce the return of the Barbarians women's team, their first doubleheader on Saturday, the 27th of November. Pop it in your diary now, and they will face a Springbok Women's 15 in the Click Cup double header. But that is about it for Show 1, Season 3, Sarah Hunter. Thank you so much for joining us on this opening salvo of Season 3. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah.
The stopping and starting and the length of it all?
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. I've had a great time, great to chat things rugby as always.
Oh, great stuff! And you, as you say, you'll be sort of part of the team now. We'll get you a t-shirt sent over and get you on the pod on a more regular basis as one of our sort of regular friends / co-hosts. So no, it's brilliant to have you on board. Thank you so much. And the only other thanks I wanted to give was to Jenny, former member of our team. Thank you for all your help last season, and hope you're doing well and enjoyed your summer. But do not forget, if you fancy giving us a review, the only button you're allowed to press is 5 stars. Obviously, the other ones don't work. I'm just taking my word for that. Don't try. And give us a little rating. It really does help. For the amount of listeners that we have compared to ratings, there's a huge difference. So if you haven't done that, it would really help. So please do that for us. And you can follow us all across social media at Pod Women's Rugby. That's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn as well. Thank you so much to Sarah Hunter for coming on. Thank you, as ever, to Sean and to Harry and to Tom and to a new member of our team, Bluebell. Thank you very much for all your efforts. Next week, we are hoping to have the Happy House Ward on, Abby and her husband, Dave. Dave Ward and Abby Ward, the Bristol pairing now, and see how their start of the season and the move down to the West Country has been for them. Heather Fisher announced her retirement, so we're desperately hoping that Fisher will come on the pod next week, tell us all about her maddest stories.
Oh, yeah. That should be a show in itself. In fact, it should probably be a series.
An entire series.
You know what? She's been a great advocate for women's rugby. over the years, and what she's done, what she's been through, what she's achieved. Like, she'll be a great loss to the game, but no doubt she'll go on to even bigger and better things.
Yeah, huge congratulations on an outstanding career and what you've represented and what you've stood up for. Yeah, absolute kudos to you, Fish. Hopefully we will get to chat in person next week. See you, Sunter. Best of luck against Wasps. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week. And remember, it is all about substance, not spectacle.